Hello, hello. It is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for this full moon in Leo. We've made it to Aquarius season. And so here we are. um, so what I want to say about this Leo full moon, and before we even get into the presentation, which I have changed it up a little bit, is 2024 is going to be confusing. There's a lot of information, and whether you've been aware of a lot of it or not aware of a lot of it matters none. It's still going to be confusing, whether it's, information you're finding out about people in your, family, friend groups, your, whatever situations or not. There are global issues, global things coming out, things being exposed right, left, and sideways, financial systems going through transitions, and all of the things. And so the thing that I will say is keep yourself resourced, supported, and cared for. At the end of the day, you are, excuse me, you are responsible for you. And there's a lot of things that are out of our control. And so we have to do the best that we can do to, keep ourselves grounded, keep ourselves centered, and all of these things. And yeah, I know that's a lot. Something's going to beep at me this whole time. Boy, I'm having a lot of tech issues today, so we'll see how this goes. But anyway, I think, think about the fact that Leo is courage. It's courageous. It's the courageous lion. And also that Aquarius, really needs each of us to be courageous in our own ways in order for us to bring our courage to various groups in order for those groups to thrive, right? So I think keep that in mind as we move through all of this. It's a crazy amount of change, very abruptly, a lot of information, like I said. So anywho, let me quit rambling and let's get into this. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let my animations do their magical, beautiful things just because I think they're fun. There we go. Get the fire coming through for the fire in Leo, and then the comet comes through with the date for the full moon. I don't know. I have fun with these little things. Okay. So here we are with the overview. Okay, lots of revealing information. Of course, I've talked about this so many times, creating cognitive dissonance or creating confusion and cognitive dissonance. So what is cognitive dissonance? It's basically when you get information about something and your brain cannot wrap itself around it. So you kind of have a hard time believing that it's true, or, just because it's so different than what you have known for your whole life or lifetimes, or your family's known, or your friends have known, or whatever. And so that's what creates cognitive dissonance. And so as we're getting so much information, like a landslide, basically. Okay. Let's see. High level of egocentric behavior, particularly those who are in fear of all of the changes. Yeah, I think this is kind of because like a lot of people don't want the change. A lot of people want to keep going with their day-to-day life and, keep going as is. And the thought of something like that being, changed or different is terrifying to them. And so they really struggle with it, and therefore they get like defensive or egocentric, maybe even self-righteous. Definitely those sorts of things are very possible with a Leo full moon. Leo can be very egocentric. Okay, overwhelm, overindulgence, and overstimulating or overthinking. Do you kind of stay grounded and centered? Yeah, I think again, it's so much at once as we move through this Aquarius season, not just this full moon, but then Uranus goes direct, and then we're going to have all of the personal planets conjunct with Pluto at 0 Aquarius, creating just more and more and more and more. And by the end of Aquarius season, we're all going to be on like complete overwhelm and overstimulation and overthinking and overanalyzing and over this and over that. And we may even be over it all by then. So yeah, so keep yourself, you know, grounded and together and all of those things. Follow your heart, follow your gut, keep focused on what you really want to create. I mean, I cannot say that enough. The more that we are focused on our own personal missions, projects, dreams, creativity, all of those things, you know, the just, you know, be aware of what's going on in the world to the extent that you have to be, but the more you can disconnect yourself from what's going on out there is going to go on out there. It matters is what's going on with you. Creativity, intuition, critical thinking, discernment, all of these things. I've talked about them several times, but definitely focus on your own, you know, creative projects, what you're feeling, you know, all of those things. Journal, 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 and meditate more than as needed. So I put this in there specifically because normally you'd say like as needed, journal and meditate, but I'm saying more than as needed just because it'll keep you, you know, it'll keep your mind clear, you know, and all of that. And then, of course, be open even to things that are unsettling and or disheartening. Yeah, because we may be getting a lot of information that just doesn't set well with us, right? Just of everything that's coming out, you know, it's all disruptive, but some of it may be flat out unsettling. But the thing is it's not unlike looking at your own shadow and your own personal dark side, is that we have to be open to learning even the darkest of dark energies and allowing the space and the grace for whatever feelings or emotions come up and out and through, you know, as we're learning all of this stuff or as we're being exposed to stuff that we may have never been exposed to before. So, okay, transits. So of course we have the full moon on the 25th. That's good. That's all well and good. On the 27th, however, we're going to have Venus trine Jupiter. This is where a lot of that overwhelm, overindulge is going to come from, is Jupiter being in Taurus is all about overindulgence, right? Jupiter amplifies it, puts a magnifying glass on things. Venus is Taurus's ruler. And so it's kind of all about like, you know, overeating, maybe you know, overspending, maybe even having too much sex. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. But you know, just be on the lookout of the things that feel good that you may be overindulging in or over partaking in. Mercury is going to conjunct Mars in Capricorn. This could mean some direct conversations, some direct, you know, maybe necessary conversations, but very direct conversations. Mercury is about communication. Mars, however, is exalted in Capricorn. So they could be some conversations that get kind of ugly. And maybe, like I said, they may be necessary to get ugly. And then, of course, Uranus goes direct. So not only are we in the feistiest Aquarius season we've ever seen, but now Uranus is going to turn direct. And albeit Uranus is going to sit still for a hot minute, but the point is that the Uranus will be direct on the 27th. So just after this full moon. On February 5th, Mercury is going to conjunct Pluto. Again, more conversations, deep conversations. And then on the 8th, February 8th, Mercury will square off with Jupiter. So don't forget that as these planets move into Aquarius, which is a fixed sign, now we're going to start to see them square with the planets that are in the fixed sign of Taurus, right? And I'll point this out when we look at the chart here in a minute, but you've got fixed energy in Aquarius, fixed air versus fixed earth, and you're going to see like the tension or what needs to be worked on, right? That's what squares really are. We say it's tension, but it's really just showing up to show us what we can work on and what we can, what lessons kind of need to be, I don't want to say mulled over, but like sifted through or whatever. On the 7th, Venus is going to trine Uranus. So Venus will then be in Capricorn trining Uranus. This could mean upsets in, or it could be something good happens with the financial system, with, finances within a relationship, or even things that happen within a relationship. Maybe it's something about your self-love or your value that gets kind of upset, or you get an epiphany about. Trines are typically supportive. Doesn't mean they have to be, but they could be. And this is an earth trine between Venus and Capricorn, and Uranus in Taurus. So this is an earth trine. So it could be something to do with some earthly things. Maybe you have an epiphany and decide to leave your job because your business is taking off, or, you decide to take the promotion, accept the big move. However that shows up for you. February 13th, Mars conjunct Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Of course, get ready. This is going to be one wild mother effer of a Valentine's Day if you do that kind of thing, whether you're single or not. Because Mars conjunct Pluto is power struggles. And so, manipulations. You could see some red flags maybe on a new person that you've been seeing, something like that. Pay attention to those red flags. I know we like to ignore them and shove them under the rug, but it ain't going to work anymore. But we're all guilty of it. Don't worry. I am too. February 17th is Venus conjunct Pluto. This could be good. This could be bad. And I don't mean bad isn't a bad thing. Like whatever the transformation energy is about these planets conjuncting Pluto, it's revealing something to us for a reason. We have to see bad things, or maybe not so glamorous things, in order to see the truth, right? We can't always think that our favorite, how do I put this? We cannot think that just because a person, place, or thing, organization, institution, whatever it is, we cannot believe that whatever that is 100% good all the time. Okay. Like we've got to see, like, think about it. If you've ever found out that like your favorite actor, actress, or singer, or whoever, whatever celebrity, okay, if you've ever found out like your favorite celebrity, damn, I thought they were so cool. And then you find out that like they've had affairs, or they've done this, or they've done that. And you're like, that sucks. I thought they were such a cool person. You have to remember that these people are entertainers and they are putting on an act. Whether you think it's their real life or not, they're putting on an act, right? And this goes for anyone and everything is, that's in the public sector. Is a lot of these things are an act. It's a movie. It's a show, right? It's all for show. Okay. I don't want to get myself kicked off YouTube, so I should probably stop talking about that. But I think y'all understand what I'm talking about. And then on the 18th, Chiron conjuncts the North Node and opposes the South Node. It's a little bit further out than I wanted to go, but I saw it and I was like, oh, that's probably well worth talking about, because we are going to have planets, planets as they moved through Capricorn. The planets did aspect Chiron. And now the North Node's going to conjunct Chiron. And I think this is really important because, again, this North Node in Aries is all about finding your independence, your interdependence, your individuality, and all of these things. And Chiron is these core wounds. And so I think, like, as the planets have kind of, spoke to Chiron and given their messages, whether it was Mars, Mercury, or Venus, then, now it's going to conjunct the North Node, and the North Node's going to share its wisdom of guiding us to that next level thing. So, okay. Howl at the moon, howl at this moon. This is the wolf moon, the moon in Leo. We're at 5 degrees of Aquarius with the sun and 5 degrees of Leo for the moon. You can see Mars here at 15, squaring Chiron at 15 Aries. You can also see that Jupiter is at 5 degrees of Taurus. So Venus is going to trine Mars in a couple of days after this full moon peaks. You can see Mars and Mercury are going to conjunct. Mercury is going to pass Mars and hit Pluto first. So, but ultimately, as these 3 planets hang out in Capricorn, all of them are going to end up in Aquarius before the end of Aquarius season. That's why I think this is a very potent individuality type of Aquarius season. We need you. We need you to be your authentic self, to be a part of the community or group or whatever that you're a part of, and bring your beauty, your skill, your gifts, and all of the things to that, your creativity, all of that. And, you know, like I said, this courageous lion, Leo full moon, is a wolf. What's the book that just came into my head? Hang on. Women Who Run with the Wolves. I highly recommend reading Women Who Run with the Wolves. Not suggesting that we go back to a primitive way of being. We all would miss our technology too much for that. But there is a lot to be learned from tapping into your wild, beautiful, feminine self, right? And whether you're a man or a woman watching this video, you have masculine and feminine energy. And we all need each other to tap into that feminine creative energy. And I'm not talking about emasculating men. I am talking about men tapping into their creativity. And that could be like, creating, I don't know, building a car. I don't know, a lot of men hobbies, isn't that weird? Woodworking, things like that. We all need to tap into this creativity and bring this authentic creativity to the surface, so that we can support our communities and, all of those things, right? There's something beautiful about a human being who is authentic, tapped into, the creative genius that they were put on this earth to share with the rest of us, right? Like, I'm someone who really appreciates people who are more creative than me. I have a creative mind. I can't put it into play. And so, but somebody who can do a really great job decorating a cake, or do a really great job on a painting, or, can make origami or something like that. Like, I'm throwing random examples out there, but I think you see where I'm going with this. It's like, we need each other's creativity in order to thrive as a community. So, okay, so it's at 5 degrees, Leo, Aquarius. Leo is fixed fire. Aquarius is fixed air. So think about it. Aquarius is fixed air. Air represents intellect. And Aquarius loves intelligent people, right? In fact, we kind of don't like stupid people. I'll be honest. We really like people who are able to deep dive down research rabbit holes with us and be on that weird level with us, and, watch a movie or a show and see the thing that no one else can see or make sense of. Mars square Chiron, and then you can see, like I said, and I pointed all this out, but you can see all the transits that are building. Uranus is going to go direct at 19 degrees of Taurus. So again, if your Uranus is between 19 and 23 degrees of Scorpio, I think I did this in a presentation a while back. I want to say, well, this is 77 to 79, November 77 to December maybe of 79 is the Uranus at 19 to 23 degrees of Scorpio. So you're going to get another hit of that Uranus opposition. So this is that perfect kind of opportunity. You're in your mid 40s. This is that like perfect opportunity to stir some shit up. I just bought a t-shirt that said "fuck shit up, Buttercup," and I love it. Yeah, let's go fuck some shit up in a good way, right? We don't want to destroy things. we don't want to make messes or create chaos, but we do want to, you know, muck things up in a positive light. Okay, so we are on the 25th, which is the full moon in Leo, of course. February 2nd is the third quarter square moon in Scorpio, at 13 degrees Scorpio. February 6th is the balsamic or darkening moon phase in Capricorn. And the Aquarius new moon is February 9th at 20 degrees of Aquarius. Is that thing squaring Uranus? Oh, I didn't even look. Maybe coming right off of a square, because Uranus is probably still at 19 by then. I don't think it gets moving for a hot while. So it's going to sit at 19 for a while. So if you've got that 19-degree Uranus and Scorpio, you get some Uranus love for a while. On the 16th is the first quarter square moon in Taurus. It's at 27, so it will be just past Uranus. And then the 24th will be the full moon in Virgo. I didn't look for the degree on that, but I would guess it's somewhere around 4 or 5. That's where they've been consistently for the last several months. So, okay. All right, since I'm mixing shit up a little bit, of course you can join the Awakening Spirit Collective. Oops, I missed all my upper stuff here. Hold on, sorry. You can book with me. I'm not doing the quarterly stuff. I will reopen that in March. So if that's something you're interested in, just, you know, pay attention. I will be reposting that in March, but you can still get the basic astrology. I am going to be adding some stuff like the consultations and things like that, just to open that calendar space up. You know, if you want to do a Zoom meeting with me to go over your natal chart, I'm going to open that up. And of course, my guest appearance on the Hearts Unleashed podcast, talking about breaking up with your victimhood. Also, I can talk about radical self-acceptance by use of astrology and spiritual stuff, spiritual work, and then all of that. So if you want me to speak to your group, I'm here for it. Join the Awakening Spirit Collective, where I I did it again, where I provide a zodiacal season overview, meaning when the sun moves into a new season. So there'll be one for Aquarius season, one for Pisces, Aries, all of the rest. And there's multiple other practitioners available on the Awakening Spirit Collective, bringing their gifts and talents to the collective, and we all support each other. They do have a monthly conscious conversations Zoom call, or show up as you are, you know, and talk about the things that you are experiencing and going through, and be supported by a group of people who are also going through some stuff. Okay, and of course, thank you so much for tuning into my videos. Thanks for the likes, the comments, sharing, all of it. You know, I just really, really appreciate all of y'all for being here and all of that. So, okay, here's what we're doing. Oh, come on. Good Lord. So I use VoiceOver on my MacBook to navigate, so I don't have to figure out where everything's at. The problem is with Zoom, there's like 3 different windows when you're in a meeting, and one of them is like the share toolbar. That's where the stop share button is. That's why it takes me so long, because it's like I never remember which window it is to stop the screen share. Anywho, okay, let's get into these sun signs. So a couple things about these sun signs. Number one, these are not 100% accurate. They are accurate for whole sign, meaning if you are a Virgo rising, then, you know, automatically Libra is your second house. But because when we do an individual chart, we use different house systems, not whole sign, right? So by that I mean, if you, let's say, are 20 degrees Virgo rising, then your second house may actually be partly Virgo, partly Libra, or it may be that your first house is the last chunk of Virgo plus Libra and part of Scorpio. And so that's why these are not 100% accurate. So if you're listening to them and you're like, that doesn't align for me, that's why, because they are not 100%. However, they are a good way to gauge for yourself your sun, your rising, and if you choose to do like your moon or Saturn or Mercury or whatever, you can do that. If you're more advanced with astrology, you can choose to use them from that perspective. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. I got a new deck of cards. So I thought what I would do is just face to face, because I did not like the way the cards, like my face up in the upper right hand corner, like that was just annoying me. So I figured I would just do it this way. So we're talking about a Leo full moon for all 12 zodiac signs. So the only thing is I don't get my slides, but we're going to do this anyway, because I think cards is more fun. And let me see one thing really quick, actually. Okay. And I can figure out what the heck is beeping. I'm hoping that it's not beeping on y'all's end and it's only beeping on my end. Okay, we're gonna go with it. Okay, so Aries, this full moon is happening in your fifth house because Leo is the fifth from Aries. So your creativity, perhaps some inner child wounds are being exposed. Maybe something from your childhood is being exposed to you because of the fact that you have Chiron in your sign and this being in your fifth house. Like there could be, and Pluto having just, met with the sun. There could be some stuff coming up about some inner child wounds and whatnot. And so just some things to be aware of, but also this could be just like you maybe feeling something about your creativity, maybe a wound around your creativity, some self-consciousness around your creativity because of something that you did experience when you were a kiddo. All kinds of different things like that could be coming up for Aries. And so Aries, and this is the Woodland Wardens Oracle deck. And for Aries, you got the beaver and birch. And this is home. How funny. So this is beaver and birch. This is home. This is upright. And so oddly enough, this Oracle deck does have a reverse definitions. I haven't seen that in oracles before. Home. This is about like creating your space. Like maybe it's about reparenting your own inner child and really recreating what it felt like to be a child. And therefore like being able to then tap into your creativity and heal some part of you, by creating that comfy, cozy home space for yourself. So that's what I think. This is the beaver and the birch for Aries. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, this full moon is happening for you in your fourth house. Which is emotional intelligence, also home, maternal, those sorts of things. And I feel like there's something coming up about you, maybe like recreating your home. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're somehow reestablishing your home, or you're facing something around your emotions that is coming up because of everything you've been through with the transformation and the nodes from a year or two ago. I feel like there's, oh, yep. Okay. You got the butterfly and snowdrop. I have never heard of a snowdrop. Butterfly and snowdrop, which is hope. Yeah, there's something that you're needing to get from I feel like there's something you're needing to get emotionally. Maybe you haven't been expressing your emotions, or maybe there's something you need to get from your mother or a mother figure or something like that. Yeah, but then this is a beautiful card. So the butterfly and the snowdrop. So yeah, something there for you, Taurus. So Gemini, this full moon in Leo is happening in your third house, which is a Gemini-ish themed house. So there's something here that is about communication. And Gemini, you like to communicate, you like to talk, but maybe there's something that you need to express about your creativity. Maybe you need to just express it to yourself, but I do definitely see like something is up with you communicating what you want to create, how you want to create it. And again, you know, all of these could be reparenting an inner child, right? A lot of this because Leo is about children. And maybe it's not about reparenting your inner child, but maybe something around like communicating something with your kids, or something like that could be coming up for Gemini. Let's see what Gemini has got. Gemini, you got, we got the boar and pumpkin. And this is confidence. Yeah, I think Gemini's, because you can get so scatterbrained sometimes, is that you lose confidence because you don't stick with something long enough to, you know when to understand it or thoroughly grasp it or whatever. And this isn't a criticism because I'm an air sign too. And so I think like this is all about being confident in yourself, knowing that you do know a lot of shit about a lot of shit, and that you are capable of presenting it to whoever is ready to hear it. And so that's what I got for Gemini. All right. Cancer. Let me take a drink of water. All right, Cancers. This is your second house. This is self-worth, value, finance. Cancers, you've got to be willing to do this for yourself. You've got to be willing to heal. You've got to be willing to create the boundaries, create the lifestyle. I think, didn't you guys get the villain card last time or something to do with a villain? And so, you know, maybe it's time to be take some of that cold-hearted Aquarius energy. I don't think Aquarians are cold-hearted either, but they can be. But take some of that cold-hearted Aquarius energy and apply that to your life, because you're being such a, you're allowing the emotions to take over, and therefore you're not taking the time to actually do the things that will make you feel valuable, that will make you feel worthy. And this could be about your finances. Like maybe it's something to improve your finances, and there is something that you can be doing to improve your finances, but your value and your worth are at maybe like a critical space that you're struggling to, have the confidence, have the courage to present the thing that you want to present. And so I would say go after it. Use this fire in Leo, the cold in Aquarius to, yeah. And you got the mouse and buttercup innocence. Yeah, this is, how perfect, how freaking perfect. The mouse and buttercup. Okay, this is using that mouse curiosity, right? Being curious, be the fool. This is the number 0 card in this deck. But it's all about like exploring and finding the things that suit you, that being curious enough and confident enough to pursue the thing you've been wanting to pursue. You've been wanting to do something, and yet you just let the emotions take over and you lose confidence. Well, I'd say, grow a pair and do the damn thing, or at least be curious about what you can do to do the damn thing. And I will tell you, like, something that, we tell business people, I've heard in, business circles, entrepreneurial circles, I've been in and around for more than a decade, is you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all of the right things. And in fact, if you're waiting for the right time, or you're waiting for the right equipment, or you're waiting for the right this or that or the other, you're just bullshit excusing yourself for why you haven't done it yet. So you don't have to have the right microphone to do a podcast. You don't have to have the right camera to do videos, right? I wish I had better equipment, but I don't. I still want to produce videos. I still want to do what I do. Because I still find it fun. I don't, even if my tech is like completely out of whack or whatever, but you will actually gain and learn a lot along the way if you do the thing you want to do when you are in a space where you're not, like, quote unquote, ready to do it. Go do the damn thing. Give yourself the confidence boost you need to do it. Okay, that's what I got for Cancers. Ranted on them a little bit, didn't I? All right, Leo, time to shine, Leo. Leo, this is in your first house. This is how you show yourself to the world. But Leo, you have been through some stuff over the last several months. Like, life has changed, you've changed, and you have got to show up in a different way. You've got to present yourself in a different way. You've got to set some boundaries. You've got to adjust your maybe it's your wardrobe, adjust your, just how you show up to the world, how you are in the world, how you treat people in the world. Maybe you've been an incredible butthead and you kind of need to clean that up. I feel like I've said that before about Leos. But also, like, it's all about like changing your routine or changing how you show up in your appearance in order to be in alignment with yourself, in alignment with your health, in alignment with your relationships, in alignment with your, the progression of your business or your work, whether that's climbing the corporate ladder or, just advancing your own entrepreneurship. There's something there, but you've got to show up in a different way. And Leos, you got the duck and the chrysanthemum, and this is luck. Leos are lucky ducks. But in order to maintain the luck and maintain the blessings, you do have to have all of your ducks in a row. You're not going to keep bringing in the good things if if your ducks aren't lined up right, if they're, if you've got like too many, what's the term I'm looking for here? Too many balls in the air, right? Think about, and when we talk, so I'm not saying Leos are liars, but when we talk about liars, like someone who's a perpetual, who's, what's the word? Chronic liar, right? They have to keep all these stories up in the air because they have to remember all of the things that they told all of the people. And again, I'm not saying Leos are liars, but what I'm saying is that if you've got too many things in the air, you can't catch them. So you've got to get your ducks all lined up. You've got to ground all your balls. You got to ground all your balls and get them in order so that you can progress forward. Sorry, I am a Scorpio moon. Okay. All right. Virgo, this full moon in Leo is happening in your 12th house. So this is all about karmic cycles, spirituality, duality, and whatnot. Can be also about dreams. So Virgo, you may be finding that you are having a hard time sleeping because of this full moon. So if your sleep schedule is a little erratic, you can blame the waxing moon. But also you may notice that you are feeling like some shit's coming to an end, some stuff that's no longer serving you in your creative way. Maybe you are bogged down with physical material possessions. Maybe you are bogged down with, and this could even be like you're bogged down with the overthinking or overanalyzing of how it won't work, like being the perpetual pessimist. And therefore, needing to say, okay, I'm not going to be the perpetual pessimist. I'm going to try on some new stuff. Look, we're in Aquarius season and we've got Pluto in Aquarius. It's time to try some new shit and see if it works. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I think this is about like breaking a karmic cycle, and karmic cycles are breaking those like deep stories, or they can be generational, but just breaking those cycles of like how it's gone before and saying it's going to go different this time because I'm going to go different. I'm going to do it different. My work ethic is going to be different. I'm not going to overthink. I'm just going to take action, take action, take action, take action. I don't need to study anymore. I don't need to, whatever, have all my shit together. Kind of like I was saying for Cancer. I don't have to have all my shit together. I'm just going to do the damn thing. And so for Virgos, we have this is the goat and the willow. Ooh, I like this for Virgos. This is overcoming obstacles. Okay, so I love this because Virgos are kind of their own obstacle, right? I don't mean that in a mean way. I don't mean that in a mean way, but because you overthink and overanalyze and over-explain and over this and over that, you get in your own way, right? Your wordiness, your need for attention to detail kind of gets in your way and becomes your own obstacle for getting through and getting things done. However, the goat is the goat and the willow are longevity creatures. And so it's overcoming obstacles and overcoming all of those habits that are sort of holding you back from just doing the damn thing. What I got for Virgo. All right, Libra. Libra, this full moon in Leo is happening in your 11th house, groups, communities, and technology. And you have an air sign. And so a lot of your placements could be trining the sun in Aquarius and ultimately the rest of the planets in Aquarius as they move into Aquarius. And so you may be really feeling like some, innovation with regards to technology, trying some new stuff, or even like creating some new stuff. Maybe you're like creating a new app or whatever. But I really feel like actually what this is for Libra is groups and communities. So Libra, you have got to learn who your people are. You've got to learn how to participate in a group. You've got to learn, you've had like this emotional breakdown to a breakthrough. So it really could be a good time to now like replant yourself into a new group that's going to take you to the next level, right? You kind of put up with a lot of people's bullshit and stupidity and whatever, and now you're like aligned and a little bit more emotionally stable to the point where you can now find people who will actually support your continued growth. And Libra, you have the rooster and sunflower. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Communication. Think about it. The rooster is what wakes us up in the morning. The sunflower is the tallest flower. So they are, they get the message out and or receive the message first, and then take it to the rest of the people. It's so funny because when I saw this card, I thought of my friend who is a Libra and how she loves sunflowers. And so it's kind of funny that I drew this. This deck has been very accurate since I got it. I did a pull for myself, but it's been very accurate. So kind of loving that. But yeah, so the rooster, it's it's our wake-up call, right? It's the person, it's the critter that wakes up the rest of the farm when it's dawn. And then of course the sunflower, it's going to get the weather first, right? If it's precipitating, if it's windy, if it's this or that or the other thing. Although mostly I'm sure the sunflowers did not help any of us through this winter storm. But I digress. But anyway, so Libra, it's time for you to be in good communication with others. Be in good communication with your community, with your group, with your people, and with yourself and with technology in order to, you know, get where you need to get next. Like if you need to, you know, whether it's like you need to directly communicate what you need and not be afraid to ask, or maybe you need to clean up your communication and, you know, communicate more gently or kindly with others, you know, for what, you know, however that shows up for you. This being Leo, it's all about, you know, being a courageous communicator. Maybe there's some shit you've been needing to say and you've been holding it in, and, you know, however that goes. So anyway, that's what I got for Libra. Scorpio. Ooh, Scorpio. Scorpio, this is happening in, this is the full moon in Leo happening in your 10th house of career, long-term goals, public achievements, that sort of thing. So Scorpio, been through it, right? Now it's time to really push hard to grow into the goals that you want to achieve. Really grow into them, step into this new presence or this new like business person or this new, you know, professional author, professional advertiser, like whatever it is that you're up to in the world, it's time to step into the new public version of that. And Scorpios got the quail and the gooseberry, and this is anticipation. Yeah. Scorpios sitting on pins and needles, right? They, you know, they're ready for something new. If you have a lot of Scorpio placements, particularly a sun or a moon or a rising, you know, or any other Scorpio placements, like you have been playing the long game, right? Scorpios drag ass at transformation. We are gonna hold on to some shit until like the universe is just like, can you please let it go? Are you done yet? No, Scorpio's like, no, I'm not done yet. I'm still gonna hold on to that stupid ass story because that's my fucking story and I'm gonna hold on to it. Okay, but the universe is now giving you kind of permission. If you've been given the guidance to let go of that story, let go of that version of you or whatever. And now you're like anticipating how life is gonna go since you've let go of that old story, since you've let that version of you go and you've stepped into this new version of yourself, right? This is really about your profession, your career. Scorpios, wouldn't be surprised if a lot of Scorpios leave their jobs and get a new career within the next month or two, you know, or at least maybe pick up a side hustle or, you know, start building their own business on the side, or prepare and start planning for a new job or a new career path, or achieving a goal. I mean, this really could be about achieving a public goal. Maybe you want to get like a New York Times bestseller, or you want your art to be on exhibit at whatever art gallery, you know, or maybe you've got a new app or a new video game that you want to present to a company or whatever. So lots of different things that could happen for Scorpios in career and public achievement. I think I like this better. What do you guys think? Do you like this format better? I kind of like it better. I think it's a little more fun. Okay, Sagittarius. This is your what? The ninth house. Ninth house. Okay, sorry, had to do math. Lost track of which house I was on. Okay, ninth house for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, ninth house is your theme house. So travel, acceleration, not acceleration. Well, yeah, maybe that is the right word. Acceleration, broadening yourself, long distance travel, education, becoming an educator, becoming a philosopher, becoming a, you know, potentially a guru. I feel like some Sages could be lit on fire for this Leo full moon, just because some Sages have had enough BS and they're ready to move on to a whole like other level. I think I said this last time too. I still feel this for Sagittarius. I think some Sagittarius has got a little fed up, like holding themselves back over the last several years, or even for like their entire life. And now they're like stepping into this whole new version, and they ain't playing. They ain't playing. They ain't playing. They're like, here's my knowledge. And Sages are wise, right? Sages are very wise. Jupiter ruled. And so stepping into this ninth house, and ninth house is Sagittarius, Jupiter themed characteristically. And so, there could be this like, here's my wisdom, here's what I know, and here's what I'm going to share with you. Like I said, philosopher, guru, that sort of thing. Sages got the frog and the lotus, and this is, can't make this shit up, metamorphosis. Can't make this shit up. Okay. So frog and lotus, metamorphosis. Yeah. Sages are changing. They are mixing some shit up. This Leo full moon, if you've got your Sag placements at 5 degrees of Sagittarius, or even maybe even from 3 to like 7, 8-ish degrees of Sag, you could really be feeling this. This could really be lighting a fire under you, and you could be releasing like that big bang release of the old shit and transforming your Sagittarius ass. You know what? You could be shoving that Sagittarius arrow up somebody's ass to like move on. Could be. I don't know. Right? Okay. But anyway, so frog and lotus. And so maybe what I should have said at the beginning of all of these, of course, I wait till Sagittarius to say this, but you can go look up the spiritual meanings of the plants and animals mentioned on these cards and see what sort of comes up for that like resonates for you with these cards. So if you're hearing this now and you're like, I'm a freaking Aries, go back and listen to it again. I'm sorry, I should have said it then. But I forgot. Anyway, so that's Sag. Take a drink of water. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, this full moon in Leo is happening in your 8th house, which is transformation, mergings, both intimately and financially, taxes, things like that. I feel like Capricorns, because Pluto has now left your 1st house, ideally. And this is Leo and Aquarius. Aquarius is your 2nd house. I'm halfway between. This is about mergings, like maybe readjusting contracts with regards to merged finances, and that this is like the remnants of, but I'm like, how could you have remnants of? You had 15 years of Pluto. Because the 8th house is Scorpio, which is Pluto. I'm feeling like it's more to do with finances, just because and also you may have just gotten some messages from all of the personal planets being in your sign that you tried a few different things, this, that, and the other, here and there and that, and you're like, oh, I still need to like make this one last shift. But I also feel like this could be about finances, merely because Venus will trine Jupiter shortly after this full moon. And therefore, that could create like you acquiring some money or acquiring some financial responsibility that you haven't had to deal with thus far. Something like that. Let's see what's up for Capricorn. Oh boy. the sheep and the blackberry. And this is about devotion. Okay, so this is about mergings. This is about being devoted to another person and merging finances. Perhaps you are up, getting into, deepening your relationship with someone on a more intimate level and sharing finances, something like that. Yeah. Okay. That verified it. That's what these decks are for, is to verify. But yes, I do feel like there is something, your relationship is moving forward and your finances are now going to be more woven together than they have been previously. Again, this still could be about like taxes and like something to do with financial responsibilities that come up out of nowhere. And like, I don't know, you were a sheeple and just sort of followed along when you shouldn't have. I don't know. I can't look at that card and not think of sheeple. That's like I for Capricorn. Okay, Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius. How you doing? I'm gonna be talking to the Aquarians a lot more. Those are my homies, my Aquarius homies. Okay, I'm an Aquarius sun. And an Aquarius Mars, in case anybody wondered. Okay, Aquarius, this is your seventh house of relationships. So this could be like you maybe, I feel like you've been lingering or holding on to the potential for some older relationships to come back, and that's not gonna happen. And you're like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm gonna open the door for new relationships, because Aquarians, we really need people who support us being full on Aquarians. We really need people who support you being your full on weird, innovative, heart-centered, community-oriented self. And so, those previous relationships were like not ready for what you got coming. So I think it's just a matter of like opening yourself up to the new relationships that could be coming in, but you've got to let go of those old ones ever coming back, because if they do, they do, but chances are they won't. In Aquarius, you got the bat and the uh hellebore. I don't know how to say that. Um, and this is intuition. You know, that's can see in the dark. They got their night vision. I don't know what a hellebore is, or I'd say more about that, but you can look that one up um on the internet if anybody wants to take a screenshot of that. But bats have night vision. They work nocturnally, which is odd, kind of interesting, not odd, but it's interesting because Aquarians is the sun at its detriment, it's at its detriment, right? It's in its darkest place, in Aquarius, but yet you're still intuitive as hell. And so you already know, you already know that those people are probably never gonna come back. And if they do, they do. You get to, but you don't have to let them back in, even if they come back, because what did I hear the other day? Something to the effect of, even if they come back, like the version that y'all knew of each other is not the same. So like you'll understand if they do come back, you'll understand why they had to leave, because they won't even be like it won't be the connection you remembered, because you're going to be in this whole different place. You're going to be in this whole different version of yourself. So Aquarius, like, leave the door open for new partnerships, new relationships, new balance, because new balance, don't go buy those shoes. They're not bad shoes. But new opportunities to build new relationships with people who can actually like meet you at your level, whatever level that is, whatever level of authenticity, creativity, all of those things. Like, leave the door open for those new, even if it's a relationship to a job, like, leaving the door open for a new innovative career path to come through. All right. Pisces. Pisces, this is happening in your sixth house of work habits, daily routines. And so must be a big shift going on with some Pisces, because you're getting to the need, you're gonna need to adjust your daily routine, your health habits, you know, however this works for you, whether it's a new workout or you know, you need to let go of an old habit or an old routine that's not going to serve you anymore, because you've got to allow in the new opportunity that's coming at you. Creative opportunity, courageous opportunity, that sort of thing. So I feel like for Pisces, yeah, like something shifting that's creating or that's wanting or needing space. So you've got to clear space for the new thing that's coming for you or available for you when you clear the calendar space for it to happen. You got the Finch and Peach. And this is romance. Oh, well, okay. Pisces is getting a new romance. But I will also say, if you're not looking for a partnership romance, because I always like to speak to my single people, that this could be a romance with yourself, right? That you could be learning or developing what you are looking for in the romance department, right? And by that I mean, like, take yourself on me dates and learn who you are. Like, that's how I learned who I was I went on me dates. And I learned what I define as romance. So I think this is like an opportunity for you to define what romance is for you. And this is also like, peaches are sweet. So yeah, I think like this is such a beautiful thing, right? Romance, right? And you're also be aware that you could be over romanticizing how something's going to go, and you're not willing to make the changes to have that thing go that way. So there's always that eerie little detail too. Okay, that's your sun and rising signs. Let me know what you think of this format. I'm just trying all kinds of shit this year because whatever. I want to bring you good content. I want to make sure that the messages get out there, and I want to try new stuff. I want to try and present things differently, and whatnot. No, I do not have my desk yet. No, I do not have anything on my back wall yet. Hopefully that's coming in the next week or two. But yeah, that's where we are with life. There was holidays and things like that, so I've kind of put my apartment furnishings on hold. But I am enjoying having my own space. So thank you so much for tuning in and all of that. And I was going to show you, that was the, hang on one second. I think I mentioned this, didn't I? Woodland Warden's Oracle deck. And I like it because it's the first time I've ever seen a deck where the guidebook had upright and reverse for most of the cards. I've never seen reverse meanings on Oracle decks, but I like it because it gives you not only an animal, but a plant to work with. And so, like I said, you can go and like Google or internet search whatever came up for your zodiac sign and get an idea of the spiritual meaning. You can just say spiritual meaning of the frog, spiritual meaning of the boar, spiritual meaning of the butterfly. You can just type that into an internet search and you will get all kinds of different resources. I've done this many times with different things. If I see something, notice something, whatever. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Leo full moon. Happy full moon, and all of that. And I will see you in the dailies. So thanks so much and have a good one.